Oh, excuse me, Will. Will Humble.
I thought that was fake. I got to say.
Well, certainly. Certainly it was. It is not a symptom of flu. I'm
You
not
had the
nauseous.
vaccine.
Because I got a shot, right? Does that mean if I get my flu shot, everybody wants to know this, and they want to know because you're the director of the Arizona Department of Health, if I get my flu shot and I don't have the flu in my system, is it impossible for me to get it?
No, now it's impossible for you to get the flu from the flu shot.
Yes.
But if you get the flu shot, 3 weeks later, a month later,
Yes.
you could get exposed and still get the flu. It doesn't provide 100% protection, right? But there's a 100% chance it's not going to get you sick.
And there's a 100% chance that you're not going to get the flu from the flu shot.
Yeah, you will not get the flu from the flu shot.
Have we emphasized that enough? Now, I can't tell you now about how long you've had two different kinds of vaccine, right? The
Right.
live vaccine.
The
you
live,
don't
which
have
is
that
in the
anymore.
nasal. No, that's the nasal is a live attenuated vaccine. The nasal spray.
You
is.
still get that.
Mm-hmm. But the ones with the needles are the
Can I get the flu from the nose thing?
no. Neither. You can't get the flu either way.
Don't you get tired of telling
There's
people
studies
that?
over and over and over and over and over that have been done that I mean, it's just absolutely doesn't happen.
I have people who are close to me who say, no, absolutely documented 400 people in Apache Junction alone.
Well, it doesn't happen. But I have one of my doctors on staff tells a great analogy, Karen Lewis, and she says it's like you fill up your gas tank and then you get a flat tire a quarter mile down the road and you say, you see, when you get gas, you get a flat tire. It's that kind of thing.
Okay, if I get a flu shot, will I get gas? Oh,
I haven't seen any data on
I
that.
love stumping the director of the Arizona Department of Health. What's the best prevention other than the flu shot?
At the community level, the best protection is to get as many people vaccinated as possible, especially kids. So as a community of people in Arizona, the best thing that we could do is to get as many of our kids vaccinated as possible because they're mainly the amplifiers of the virus. Adults, we spread it to each other too, but kids are really the amplifiers. So at the community level, it's about vaccinating communities of people, especially kids, but all types. At the personal level, it's also the same thing. The number one way to protect yourself is to get vaccinated. And the other things are to do simple common sense things that your grandparents tried to teach you about washing hands, having good hygiene, and then being considerate of others, like covering your cough with your sleeve, not your hand, so you don't spread it hand to hand. Those simple things, and of course not sending your kids to school sick and not going to work while you're sick.
Is flu more dangerous for kids?
Flu isn't necessarily more dangerous for kids unless they have special needs. If they've got asthma or something like that, it's more serious. The danger is that kids, like I said, amplify the virus and then they end up spreading it to seniors, grandparents, and that sort of thing. So while the kids aren't necessarily more vulnerable to the complications like pneumonia, unless they have asthma or something like that, they often are the spreaders to seniors who have the bad consequences like pneumonia, which can kill them.
But that's the most serious demographic, the seniors?
Yeah.
Well, Humble, listen, we do this every once in a while, like every year when it's flu season, with a few other visits in between. But this year, it just seems the flu has taken a hold of the country, and a lot of people are really frightened. Is this the worst flu season you remember?
No, not even close. 2009 was. Remember October of 2009? The new pandemic strain? H1N1 came on the scene, remember, in about April of 2009. And then we bumped along that year.
Is that
we had
when we
cases
ran
all
out
summer.
Out of vaccine, too, at the same time?
That was 2004. But in 2009, we had a massive spike in influenza in October. And I mean, if you look up the charts we keep all the data going back years and years. Nothing compares to 2009. And I'd be really surprised if when this epidemic, when the epidemic of flu starts to subside here in Arizona, I'd be really surprised if it's anything close to 2009.
Some people are dying from flu. What from, though?
usually it's the complications like pneumonia. So it's the downstream effects that happen. So you get influenza is a respiratory infection, right? It's a virus that gets into your lungs and your bronchi, causes inflammation, and then the secretions if they get stuck in your lungs, can be the media by which the bacteria then grow, and that's called pneumonia. And so that's the most serious thing, that's what really kills people. Not the virus per se, but the downstream effects.
And here's the line that everybody says about almost everything. If we can land a man on the moon, why can't we get some kind of medicine that will prevent my getting, I'm talking about something I can get over the counter, or something that I can take if I get the flu to prevent my having the symptoms.
Well, the bottom line is because it's a virus. And so, when you have a bacterial infection, we've got all kinds of antibiotics that will knock it out really fast.
Yeah.
Because the antibiotics work on bacteria, which is a different kind of microorganism. What we're talking about with the flu is a virus. So the most effective strategy for slowing the spread of viruses is really prevention, not treatment. So with bacteria, it's treatment, right? Getting the antibiotic on board. With viruses, it's about prevention because there's no antibiotic that really works very well on viruses. Now there's Tamiflu and some other antiviral medications which have some effectiveness, but they only work if you get them on board really fast, like before you even have really bad symptoms. So there's really no great medication out there to help you once you've already been exposed and infected. I mean, there's some things out there that somewhat work, but the real key is prevention, and that means getting vaccinated, not sending your kids to school when they're sick, not going to work when you're sick, covering your cough, washing your hands, the simple stuff.
And check in with the Arizona Department of Health, obviously, on any electronic instrument that you have in order to find out the latest information. Or you could just find interesting people here with Pat's personal portraits. KTAR.com.